As we enter a new year, local law enforcement want to ensure your safety. We have a full list of Kern County events for the New Year celebrations and unique ideas cropping up that could help you with your New Year's resolutions. This is 17 News at noon. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. I'm Maddie Jansen, and we're just 12 hours away from the start of the new year. And once again, hundreds of thousands of people will pack Times Square in New York City to watch the iconic Waterford crystal ball drop, counting down the final moments of 2019. Chris Pallone joins us with more from the site of one of the world's biggest parties.
In the crossroads of the world, crowds are starting to gather once again to watch the iconic ball drop to ring in the new year. This is a tradition that goes back to 1907 here in New York. The good news, the weather much better than the last 2 years. Last year, the first time it rained at midnight in 24 years. The year before that, the second coldest ball drop in New York City history. So with mild temperatures in the upper 30s and mid 40s, should be a nice night. The NYPD expects about 1.5 million people out here this evening. They say it will be the safest place to be in the United States. More than 1,000 police officers, both uniformed and plainclothes out here. They'll put up drones. They'll use bomb-sniffing dogs. Access will be controlled to people coming in here. The NYPD says they're setting up for a very safe and very fun celebration to ring in 2020. In Times Square, I'm Chris Pallone, NBC News.
And if you don't want to ring in the new year with a DUI, you better plan ahead. BPD wants people to know they'll be out in full force to keep DUI drivers off the street. The holidays are the deadliest time of year on California's roads. A DUI ticket can cost you upwards of $10,000 and could also cost you your job. BPD is asking people to be prepared if they want to party.
Please plan ahead, plan accordingly, plan for a designated driver, plan for use a rideshare program, do whatever you got to do to get to and from where you're going safely so everyone can have a good new year here.
If you see a suspected drunk driver, call 911. Even if you're sober, make sure you're aware of other drivers and potential dangers on the road, and don't get behind the wheel if you're too tired. If you need a lift tonight or early tomorrow morning, here are a couple of ways to get home safely. AAA will offer its free Tipsy Toes service as a last resort. The service is available from 6 tonight until 6 tomorrow morning. You can call 1-800-400-4AAA for a free tow home of up to 7 miles. But again, that's a last resort, and you cannot bring passengers. Advanced Beverage Company and Bud Light are also teaming up to offer free rides. You can call 431-3854. And Bud Light, DDI, and Advanced Beverage will pick up the fare. Those rides are limited to destinations in Bakersfield. If you do want to get out of the house and ring in the new year with some celebrations, we have a list of events happening around town. Just go to our website, KGET.com, and click on the hot link icon to check out what's happening. Quick action by firefighters kept 11 people from ringing in the new year without a home. A fire broke out this morning in a vacant mobile home on Moneta Avenue in Oildale just after 5 a.m. Kern County firefighters acted quickly as flames spread from the vacant mobile home to several nearby, including one where 11 people live. Crews were able to save that second home and put out the flames at the residence where it all started. No one was hurt. The cause is still under investigation. Homelessness in Kern County is an issue we continue to follow closely here at 17. The city of Bakersfield wants to hear from you once more about the development of a new homeless center. The next public meeting is next week. City spokesman Joe Conroy confirmed the public forum will be held January 7th at 6 p.m. To weigh in and express your opinion, you can head to Mechanics Bank Arena. And a reminder as well, Kern County's homeless count is coming up in 3 weeks. During the annual point-in-time count, hundreds of volunteers will spread out across Kern County to get an estimate of how many out there are living without shelter. The count is happening January 24th, and it starts at 3:30 in the morning. We've posted a link to register, and you can find more information on the count at our website, kget.com. Making news around the state, thousands of volunteers were on hand to finish some spectacular floats for the Tournament of Roses parade in Pasadena. The 131st annual New Year's Day parade includes floats decorated only with flowers or natural plants. Nothing artificial is allowed. Because of that, all of the prep is last minute to make sure elements are fresh. This year's parade includes 39 floats. Volunteers from around the globe come each year.
We have tens of thousands of volunteers that will come through during the week. prepping the flowers, building the floats themselves, decorating. It really is a tremendous time-honored tradition. People come from all over the world. Sometimes it's a bucket list thing to do. Sometimes it's church groups coming together just to be together at this time of the year.
And make sure to stay tuned because one of those floats will pay tribute to a local family that made the most difficult choice to help save lives in the future. This footage is of last year's parade. Every year, the nonprofit JJ's Legacy and Dignity Health take part in the Donate Life float, honoring families who donated their loved ones' organs. This time, the organizations will honor the family of Nathan Street. Nathan died in 2015 after a long fight with a brain tumor caused by DIPG. He was just 8 years old. His family donated his tumor tissue so it can be used in research to hopefully help scientists save lives in the future. The theme of the float for 2020 is The Light in the Darkness and will be a tribute to 70 honorees. The parade kicks off the morning of January 1st. That's tomorrow, New Year's Day. Alzheimer's disease is devastating to both patient and family, but now a drug could play a major role in slowing down a patient's decline. A look at what it is coming up. And a few unique ideas for your 2020 resolutions next. Welcome back. There's just a few more hours left to figure out your New Year's resolutions. Many of us want to eat better, exercise more, or perhaps quit smoking. And while those are great goals, experts with Northwestern University have some other more unique ideas for a better 2020. For example, playing a sport can improve auditory processing in the brain. Studies show athletes are better able to distinguish voices from background noise. A serious commitment to physical activity also seems to quiet the nervous system, which can improve our ability to handle injuries and other health problems. There are also a lot of social benefits that come with playing a team sport. Another good reminder, remember to focus on the family, not just the kids. Researchers have found parents tend to put their marriage on the back burner, especially when caring for teens with depression. They maintain a stable relationship during a crisis, but often struggle when things return to normal. Experts say parents can benefit from counseling themselves and should strive to make their marriage a priority. Lastly, a career-focused resolution for women. Researchers suggest building a close network of other women to help navigate male-dominated workplaces. Studies show this type of inner circle can provide trusted information and advice about professional issues that are especially important to women. 17 Health Watch now. A new experimental drug developed to help Alzheimer's patients is set to get its first run at testing. Researchers say the drug could play a major role in slowing down a patient's decline. The disease does not currently have a cure, but this drug could help doctors move closer to one. Andrew Hyman reports.
Researchers here at Vacant are no strangers to developing drugs, though this latest work could be a breakthrough.
It's very, very important for us.
The drug is called papaimab, which is designed to help slow down some of the degenerative effects of Alzheimer's. Developers say the disease causes long-term inflammation in the brain.
But our drug is targeting more the inflammation and trying to reverse that process of chronic inflammation that occurs in the brain, and that can lead to a lot of cognitive decline.
The drug uses antibodies to block a protein which can cause the inflammation, among other issues.
So in blocking that protein, we can actually, prevent some of the damage that goes on early on.
The drug has shown promising signs in people who have Huntington's disease, which is similar to Alzheimer's.
So we think the earlier we could prevent some of this damage going on, the better off it could be for these patients.
Though with still a long road left before the drug can get approved, developers believe this could be just the beginning.
So hopefully within a year we have an answer from this trial, and that would lead to a possible next larger trial.
And the trial could start in the coming months. The project received $3 million in funding, including a $750,000 grant through the Alzheimer's Association. If you're interested, Fisher encourages you to speak with your doctor. All right, let's check out that New Year's Eve forecast. Taking a look outside, a beautiful sunny day. No wild weather for this major holiday, so that's some good news. Let's check out your forecast now with Kevin.
Maddie, it is New Year's Eve. I want to wish everybody a happy New Year heading into 2020. Our high yesterday was very nice, and we hit 57 degrees, right on track with our normal of 55. The record on that date, 74, set back in 1904. Today, we're looking at some nice temperatures around Kern County. Overnight, we're at 37, right on track with where we should be this time of year. Our normal high is 55, and the record, 73, set back in 1913. If you're going to be out and about tonight, your sunset will be at 4:30. 54, 53. As we take a look at the skies, we didn't see much all morning long, and I'm not expecting anything this afternoon. We are going to end December with some pretty good rain totals, 1.52 inches in the gauge, so just over an inch and a half. And when we take a look at previous years, you can see I've crossed out 2018. We beat that total. 2017, 407 inch. We beat that total. We didn't reach the 2.41 inches in 2016. We were able to cross out 2015 when we picked up just over a half an inch of rain. And then 2014, we picked up just over 2 inches. And so we were able to beat that. So I would say it was a good December in terms of rain. And since January, we've been just under 10 inches of rain. Normally for the year, our average is right around 6. So for the year, looking great. Regional view showing very little. We're going to keep you nice and sunny as we go throughout today. The snowpack is also looking very nice. Northern Sierra sits at 84% of normal, 99% of normal in the Central Sierra, and the Southern Sierra sits at 114% of normal. So we are looking at some great Sierra snowpacks above where we were at this time last year in 2018. High pressure building on in here. That's going to keep us high and dry here the next several days. Some clouds will push on in as well, but we will remain dry, and temperatures are going to be nice and mild as well. And you can see on our futurecast, we get these little waves of high clouds, but that will be about it, except Thursday. I think Thursday the clouds will be a little thicker and will call for mostly cloudy conditions. Now, air quality for you today is going to be good with an AQI at 38. No restrictions in place, but burning is discouraged. And today we'll call for sunny skies, a little patchy fog probably tonight. 59 in Bakersfield, 58 in Delano, 57 in Taft. And then tonight you'll be back in the 30s and 40s. For the mountains, we'll look for some patchy fog tonight as well along some of the passes. And then a northeast wind, 15 to 25 today. 47 in Fraser Park. Bear Valley, you're at 45. 46 for Tehachapi, and 50s into the Kern River Valley. Lake Isabel, 55. Kernville, 53. And then for the desert, sunny skies, a northwest wind, 10 to 20. A high of 51 in Mojave, 54 in Ridgecrest. Tonight, chilly into those lower 30s. Take a look at the extended forecast. Ringing in the new year tomorrow. Mostly sunny and 59. Some clouds on Thursday, but we're back into the 60s Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Overnight, still into the 40s. And then for the mountains, ringing in the new year with upper 40s. Those 40s hang around through Wednesday, and then we'll be back into the 50s by Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Some clouds on Thursday for you as well. Overnight, chilly into the 30s. And then for the Kern River Valley, we're looking sunny tomorrow for your New Year's Day and a high of 55. 60 and mostly cloudy on Thursday, and then clearing you out for the weekend, and still a little bit breezy to windy. Overnight, remaining into the 30s and 40s. That's a look at your forecast. I hope everybody has a great 2020. We'll send it back over to you.
Well, as we approach International Women's Month, that's in March, KGET wants to recognize the great contributions women have made to our country and communities. Remarkable Women is part of a nationwide Next Star Media initiative to honor the influence women have had on public policy, social progress, and the quality of life. KGET will celebrate local women who inspire, lead, and forge the way for other women. You can nominate a remarkable woman in your life, but the deadline to do so is today. Go to our website, kget.com, to find the nomination form. In March, we'll highlight 4 local women who will be considered for Next Star's nationwide 2020 Woman of the Year Award. Looking to buy a house in the new year? You may be in for a costly surprise. Your 17 Business Watch is after the break.
KGET Business Watch is brought to you by Grapevine MSP Technology Services, the Valley's leading IT service provider.
And we're back in your 17 Business Watch. President Trump tweeting some trade news this morning, saying, "I'll be signing our very large comprehensive Phase 1 trade deal with China January 15th. This ceremony will take place at the White House. High-level representatives of China will be there. At a later date, I will be going to Beijing, where talks will begin on Phase 2. The world's 2 largest economies reached a partial trade deal earlier this month as they try to de-escalate a simmering trade war. It involved Washington canceling some new tariffs and reducing other tariff rates, and China buying more American agricultural products. The 2 sides have worked in recent weeks to hash out the agreement's language. And checking out stocks this afternoon, the last day of 2019, the Dow is down about 20 points. The Nasdaq up 13, the S&P 500 up just a fraction of a point. And meantime, checking out oil prices while we're at it. West Texas Intermediate selling for $61.06 a barrel this afternoon, and Midway Sunset started the day at $64.93 a barrel. Home sales continue to lag, but not because of a lack of demand. As CNBC's Diana Olick explains, a shortage in available homes for sale continues to frustrate buyers and drive prices through the roof.
As demand for existing homes surges, the shortage is only getting worse. There were just 1.66 million homes on the market at the end of November, down 5.7% compared to a year ago, and the lowest on record for the month, according to the realtors. They began tracking this in 1999. Supply is leanest on the low end, where demand is strongest. For homes priced below $100,000, inventory was down 15% annually. For those priced between $100,000 and $250,000, supplies were 7% lower annually. Supply is only growing on the high end of the market, where demand is weakest. The housing shortage has reignited home prices, which had been cooling last year and into the first months of this year.
The expectation is that prices are going to continue increasing, especially at the lower price points. At the very high end, there is supply, but there's not many buyers at the very high end of the market.
Demand began rising just as mortgage rates began falling, and now rates are a full percentage point lower than they were a year ago. Combine lower rates with a stronger job market and an aging millennial population, and the result will likely be even fewer homes for sale come spring. Diana Olick, CNBC, Washington.
If you're getting your finances in order in the new year and that's one of your resolutions, check your credit report. Your credit report affects your ability to get a loan or a job and can help you avoid identity theft. Credit.com, CreditKarma.com, and CreditSesame.com all offer free looks at your credit score, as well as the credit reports that influence it. If you have a big financial decision to make, financial experts encourage you not to rush it. Instead, take time to find the best deal for you. It is New Year's Eve, and Wallet Hub is out with 50 fun facts about the holiday. They found 83% of Americans spend less than $200 on New Year's Eve celebrations. About a quarter of those surveyed plan to celebrate at home. 45% say they'll celebrate with family, while only 15% said they would attend a public event or party. 12% of Americans will fall asleep before midnight, right there with them. And 54% of respondents said they will ring in the New Year's with a kiss. Well, still ahead, a look back at 2019 at some of the wild and wacky stories of this year. We'll be right back. Welcome back. As 2019 comes to a close, we tend to look back and ponder the events of the past 12 months. It wasn't all hard news and government infighting. There was some fun to be found. Here's Raphael Seth with a look at the lighter side of 2019.
Before we dive into the new year, let's retrace our steps through the old one. 2019 was like kissing an alpaca. Hairy, a little scary, and probably not something you'd want to repeat. Even the Easter Bunny was in a mood, handing out season's beatings. But to get to a smile, sometimes you have to slap the frown right off your face. We start with a competition in Denmark, where the power and majesty of equestrian dressage meets the skill of air guitar. This piano man in Switzerland hit all the high notes, tickling the ivories while suspended in midair for a tune he hoped would not end in B-flat. Other musical moments included this donkey duet, an orchestra playing it cool with instruments made of ice, and the armed forces paying tribute to the song of the year.
Baby Shark.
This woman inspired a case of the feels by bringing her best friend to work, but if your spouse is your friend, I wouldn't recommend it. We reaffirmed some truths in 2019. Birds of a feather do flock together, and kitties love to play with string. But sometimes it's best not to keep your eye on the ball. In sporting news, Juno the Otter rocked the rim with a two-hand jam, and a Harlem Globetrotter redefined the skyhook by jumping out of a plane. But somehow a skydiver won her sports championship indoors. Winter competitions bring dramatic moments, some before the games even start. Curling has become such a popular sport that sometimes you have to use the players as pieces. But if you've ever felt like you were up a creek without a paddle, try going without a creek. This snowboating race was eventually canceled after a seemingly obvious discovery.
Kayaks are not designed to work on the snow, therefore the water.
Other things that do not go together, a jacuzzi on a boat, ballet and dinosaurs, and a bunk bed of nails. So moving forward, let's turn the chaos into art like Picasso It's reasonable to expect at least a few hiccups on the journey. Just remember to stop and smell the flowers. Raphael Seth, NBC News.
When we come back here on 17 News at noon, a big donation and a hefty dose of cheer and charity to round out the holiday season. Finally, here at noon, Dustin's Diner has been serving up Christmas cheer since 1993, and today they served up a big helping of charity to the Bakersfield Homeless Center. The diner's a tradition in the Hagen Oaks neighborhood in southwest Bakersfield. Neighbors come together and sell cookies, coffee, and cocoa to locals looking at the festive lights. Through that, this year they raised almost $21,000.
It's been really nice. I mean, growing up with it, it's been part of my life. It's been part of the Christmas season for me for forever, and it's just great to see the whole community come out and really support what we're trying to do for the Bakersfield Homeless Shelter.
It's truly humbling when you have a group of volunteers like this year after year, making sure that people are taken care of. And how are they doing it? With hot chocolate, cookies, and coffee. It's amazing that with that, they're making a donation of $21,000.
The diner began back in 1993 by brothers Dustin and David Kilpatrick. The Kilpatricks have since moved, but the family who lives there now in the neighborhood still carries on this generous, cheerful tradition. Amazing donation, $21,000. That's all for us here on 17 News at noon. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you back tonight for 17 News at 5. Please celebrate safely out there this New Year's Eve.
17 News, your local news leader, continues 24 hours a day on KGET.com and our 17 News app in the spirit of the Golden Empire. 17 News.